You understand this? Those passports are real. There wasn't a frame-up within hours to say Al-Qaeda did it so they could blame it on Iraq. No, there were WMDs. There were nuclear weapons. Saddam was working with Al-Qaeda. Those mobile trucks were anthrax making machines. They attacked us. It's all real. Bill Clinton didn't have sex with that woman, Monica Lewinsky. What type of sickos? I mean, I'm reading all these reasonable articles. They're suddenly all over the news about the dangers of conspiracy theorists, how they're destroying America. And I agree. The fact that some people in this country, and they admit it's a growing minority, soon to be a majority, very scary, question government and corporations and media. Government and corporations have never lied to us once. They're as pure and strong as those magic passports. And I just can't believe how evil these people are. It's really bad right now. It's really bad that so many people are questioning, and being conspiracy theorists. Let me explain something. It is un-American to question what you're told. Hot-bellied goons sticking their hands down your small child's pants, grabbing your wife's breast, that's freedom. Putting you in microwave radiation machines, that's freedom. Foreign banks taking trillions to protect the money and not telling you where it went, that's obviously freedom. In fact, they've got an HBO special coming out where Paulson is seen as a knight in shining armor saving us with the bailout. I mean, absolutely some sanity by HBO. Thank you, HBO. Come on. Okay, I was being sarcastic some of the last segment in the comments I was making. Obviously, it's impossible that one or even two passports, that's even more ridiculous, would survive and then be picked up. And they just planted evidence all over the place, more evidence of the inside job. And then you've got all the people they say Anwar al-Awlaki runs being constantly protected. Major Hassan for 2 years. The underwear bomber, the Times Square, the shoe bomber that thought he would light plastic explosives and was described as being drugged. I've interviewed the witnesses about Muttalib, looked completely out of his head. And a sharp-dressed man gets him on the plane, and then he sets off the firecracker in his underwear, so we've got to have the TSA stick their hands in our underwear. This is ridiculous. This is a sick joke, and I'm tired of it. And now the government and the media are really trying to spin this Awlaki at the Pentagon and Al-Qaeda being the main leadership of the rebels in Syria and in Libya. They're having real trouble spinning this, and a lot of mainline conservative hosts that have attacked yours truly over the years are having to say, man, Alex Jones has got a point about this Al-Qaeda. They used Al-Qaeda against the Serbs. They used Al-Qaeda against the Russians. They used Al-Qaeda against Muammar Gaddafi. They're using Al-Qaeda-connected groups in Egypt. And that doesn't mean that the people don't have a right to get rid of these dictatorships that have been Western-backed in many cases. The point is that the globalists are trying to get the Middle East in uproar. That evidenced by Obama's statements about Israel should revert to the borders it had in 1967. Regardless of what side of that issue you stand on, I just look at it from a geopolitical perspective. I'm an atheist on the subject, a political atheist, not a religious atheist. And I just coldly look at it, and this is just meant to get turmoil going. We've got to ask why. And I'll talk about that later in the broadcast. Now, that said, if you want to talk about any of these issues I've raised or the mainstream media trying to basically discredit Christians right now by hyping up a few Christian organizations that are saying that the rapture will start sometime today or tomorrow. That's because we're already in tomorrow in Japan and Australia and areas of the Pacific. But if this hadn't happened by tomorrow afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, or tomorrow evening, then the media is going to say, look, all Christians are discredited. And they say the rapture will happen by tomorrow, and then 6 months of earthquakes and total bedlam will then unfold. Now, here's the deal. And I'm going to try to be as direct as I can on this. Anyone who knows history, anyone who's read the Bible, knows that Matthew 24:36 and many other verses in the Bible make it very clear. And Christ told his disciples, anybody that tells you when my second coming is going to happen is basically a deceiver. And here's Matthew 24:36. But of that day and hour, this is King James, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but only my Father only. Again, Matthew 24:36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no man. Now, I know a lot of you preachers don't agree with the Bible, and I know you don't like me reading this. I understand. No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. And I can read it to you from 20-something other Bibles, other translations. The New International Version, 1984. No one knows about that day or hour, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. New Living Translation, 2007. However, no one knows the day or hour when these things will happen, not even the angels in heaven or the Son himself, only the Father knows. English Standard Version, 2001. But concerning the day and the hour, no one knoweth, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father only. New American Standard, 1995. But of that day and hour no one knoweth, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father alone. It goes on. He will come like a thief in the night. You want me to keep reading this? Here's the Weymouth New Testament. But as to that day and the exact time, no one knoweth, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father alone. World English Bible. But no one knows of that day and hour, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Would you like me to continue with this? The New American Standard Bible, the International Standard Version. Would you like me to continue? And my point is, how do you have all these Christian broadcasters and all these other groups and organizations, some people who've made these claims a decade ago or more and been wrong? Why do we listen to these people? Okay? They are there to discredit Christians. I should do an entire hour or two special on this and go in and pull up the history, go over all the names, but in the interest of time and other important news and your phone calls that I want to take on any of the issues I've raised or any issues you'd like to raise, doing first-time callers right now on this live Friday edition. In the interest of that, I'm just going to spend a few more minutes on this whole rapture cult situation. The toll-free number to join us is 1-800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. Now, I refuse to get into the quagmire, the swamp, the bayou that is religious infighting, and everybody claims they've got the answer, and then it's just a bunch of Pharisees poking each other's eyes out. I know I got a big stick in my eye, and I'm not here trying to tell you what's in your eye. Unless you're a globalist openly trying to pass legislation and laws that attack my liberty and freedom, then you're fair game because you've stated what your goals are. But I have done deep study on the whole rapture movement. And if you believe in the rapture and that you're going to get this pre-tribulation rapture, I don't think you're a bad person. I just think you need to be aware of the fact that this was never taught, not in the Greek Orthodox or the Russian Orthodox or the Catholic Church or by Protestants. And after the Reformation, no one taught this. And I challenge you to show me where they did. No one taught it. You can pull up the verses in Revelation when Christ returns and clobbers the devil and the angel bounds up Beelzebub and all the rest of it. Then the dead in Christ are raised, okay? Okay? And then that differs with the whole idea that you just immediately go flapping off to heaven. Now, in the last 150 years or so, different teachers in England and the U.S. began, and folks that wanted to attack Christianity pushed this, that Christians would be raptured before the tribulation. And since then, the Christians in Russia, Christians in China, Christians in North Korea, Christians in Nazi Germany, even some people in World War I in this country, they always think everybody's the Antichrist and that they're going to be raptured out of it. Well, I go back to the old Bedouin saying, trust in God, but tie up your camel. And it's this giant cop-out, okay? Let's say before the world government beast system, cashless society goes in, and even if you're an atheist or an agnostic, I mean, you can't deny that the globalists have set up under the UN 10 global regions with 10 sub-regions per country, and they call them 10 kingdoms in the UN documents. We've covered this with Dr. Michael Kaufman, the official UN documents. And they're setting up a global standardized cash society with face scanning and thumbprinting to buy and sell. And then it gives the system total control over everything you do. And where they can starve you out if you don't submit to their system. And the no-buy list, the no-fly list, the no-travel list, the no-work list. This is the global standardized system. I have it in the news today as they start to roll it out incrementally. So regardless of whether you believe God, the devil, whatever, the New World Order psychopaths have taken this archetype, if you see it in that perspective, because regardless of how you slice it, this is happening, and they are manifesting it. They believe in it. They're setting it up. And they're earth worshipers. You get to the deepest levels of the UN, the Rockefellers, all these people. They fund the Luciferian Trust. They fund occultic groups. Every major globalist, the Queen of England, Tony Blair, all of them, it's always coming out, are obsessed with this stuff. Bohemian Grove, Skull&Bones, they believe in the devil. They're not secretly meeting. And by the way, they believe the devil's God. They don't go, oh, Beelzebub, oh, devil, we love you, oh, man in a red, pajamas. No, they believe Lucifer the beautiful, Lucifer the good. In fact, pull up the Masons saying, sweet Lucifer, I am Lucifer. I want to pull that up because most Masons are porch Masons and don't know this. It's how the globalists control good people. They don't understand that at the higher levels they teach you, no, Lucifer's really the good guy and Jesus is his bad brother. Now, lower level Masons, they teach him. The point is, and then you can argue that in the last 200 years, the Illuminati took over what Masonry was. If you get deeper into it, that there's a bunch of different branches to it. So I'm not here indicting and saying Masons are bad and evil. I mean, mainline churchgoers are involved in more of a Luciferian initiation than even Masons are. The New World Order are masters of counterfeits. But again, I'm digressing. What we're dealing with here, in 87 they said this, in the mid-90s they said it, and every time the media comes out and criticizes it, and it's even the same people that are doing it. Now, I can't judge them. I don't know their heart, but they may mean well. But all over the news, every channel last night, every radio, TV, Fox, CNN, I was scrolling through channels this morning. In here in the studio, we got multiple channels on. We got channels on in the coffee room, break room, making it look like all Christians are kook nuts. Just like by taking Muslim extremists and then saying all Muslims are, want to murder everybody. They are taking this, and then when the rapture doesn't happen tomorrow, Christians will again be seen like the Hail Bop comet cult, thinking a spaceship was behind it and putting on their black Nike tennis shoes and taking barbiturates and drinking vodka. And putting bags over their heads, waiting for the aliens to beam them up. Beam me up, aliens. This whole thing of being beamed up by Scotty up there with Captain Kirk, and you get beamed up to the teleporter room, and there's Jesus, and he comes and hugs you, and, oh, guess what, my flock? You don't have to go through any tribulation. Every one of the prophets went through tribulation. Almost all of them got killed. Most of the disciples got boiled alive, crucified upside down, thrown into the arena. What happened to Jesus? Whipped till the flesh was falling off his skin, crucified, spit on, crown of thorns crammed on his head. But you are not going to have to do anything. And they've got these giant churches with helicopter pads and swimming pools, and mainline Christians just go there to find people to cheat on their wives and husbands with. I mean, that's what I grew up in Dallas, folks. Believe me, I've seen it. I mean, I lived in a upper middle class neighborhood, and up on the hill were the mansions in my neighborhood. We lived down in the middle class area, and it was the preacher kids, just devil worshiping, sex, partying, wildness, unlimited. It's the old joke of you want to find a loose woman, go after the preacher's daughter. She's ready to go right now behind the church. Now, the issue here is you got a bunch of hypocrites. And they're telling you that you don't have to face evil. You don't have to get involved. I hear these mainline